Shalom Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barak Thumb to the brothers. Yahweh Shamar the Thumb by Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. Excuse me. I'm Priest Officer Karan Yala, the Isupk, and this is the Friday night Lashawan Qadash class, Hebrew language class on the Isupk NorCal channel and the Sacramento Israelites channel. So what I'm gonna go over today is I'm gonna go over Christ's name, right? What he was referred to as, right? As well as the Lord's name. You know what I'm saying? How to read it, write it, pronounce it in ancient and Assyrian Hebrew. Then I'm gonna go over the nations, right? The nations of the earth, as far as the enemies of Israel, as well as how to pronounce Israel in Hebrew and how to read it and write it in ancient and Assyrian Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? First, I'm gonna start off with the characters. I'm gonna just run them down real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because it's important to know these characters. I'm gonna write them in the ancient and the Assyrian. I'm gonna start off with the ancient first. All right. Okay, make sure y'all can see that. There's 22 characters in the ancient Hebrew and 27 characters in the Assyrian Hebrew. I'm gonna run these down, right? Going reading from right to left. Because as you know, the Lord is the opposite of the oppressor, the devil that the Bible speaks of. So original written languages started off on the right side and went to the left, unlike English and the languages abroad today. All right. So I'm gonna be off camera so the lighting don't mess it up. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, Salaki, I'm gonna see if I can. Yeah, I'm gonna just do it off camera so the lighting doesn't mess it up. All right. So the first character at the top right corner from right to left, all right? Ah, next character ba, next character ga, next character da, ha, wa, za, ka. The ka, not to be confused with ka, but it's more of a CHAA instead of a KA, all right? Kind of looks like a ladder to the left of that, reading on ta, ya, ka, la, ma, bottom bottom row, starting from the right. Na sa I. Pa taza qua ra sha fa. All right. So Hebrew characters and their sounds. I'm gonna speed it up this time. A ba ga da ha wa za ka ta ya. Ka la ma na sa I. Pa taza qua ra sha and fa. All right. That's the ancient Hebrew, or some would like to call it the Paleo Hebrew characters. 22 characters in all. I'm gonna try to run down these Assyrian Hebrew characters. And the reason why we have two different Hebrews that we go over is because the Assyrian Hebrew that I'm going to write down on the board, I'm just going to explain it as I write it down. The Assyrian Hebrew came about during the captivity of um, the Salakia, the northern 10 tribes, and our language was mixed with the Assyrian language as far as the characters. All right, but it was always pronounced the same. All right. Excuse me, I'm gonna write this bigger. Like I said, the Hebrew alphabet or the Hebrew characters. All right. They have 22 characters in the ancient and 25 characters in the Syrian. The reason being is because five of those characters in the Syrian have different characters for a character ending a word. All right. Uh, 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 pa, pa, Slovakia, pa, sa, pa. All right, excuse me, Slovakia. Time to get rusty on that Syrian. All right. Characters from left to right. All right. Let me put a border right here. All right. So you can differentiate which ones have three characters versus ones that have two characters. All right. So now, once again, we have I, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya. Ka, all right. This KA character selected, a KA sounding character, all right, which is this right here. This is the character of Ka at the end of the word in the Assyrian. La, Ma. This is the Ma at the bottom at the end of the Assyrian. Na, Na at the bottom at the end of the Assyrian. Sa, I. All right. Pa, Pa at the end of the word in the Assyrian. Tazah, Tazah at the end of the word in the Assyrian. Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Tha. All right. So once again, A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya. Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, I. Pa, Tazah, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Fa. All right. The Hebrew language is the oldest and most simple language. There is no characters considered to be vowels. Even the I sound is not considered what you would call a vowel in this language that we speak in America or the empire scattered abroad. So when we say Ka, it is Ka. The character is short for I forget what it's short for at this time being. For time's sake, I'm not gonna get into that. But each character is short for something. All right. Like the Da character is short for Dalat. All right. Which the Da character is the symbol of a tent or a language being a pictographic language. This is why our characters uh, resemble items. All right. Now let's get into the Lord's name. All right, or God's name. All right. Now every time you see Lord in all caps in the Old Testament, this is talking about God. There's sometimes when you see, like, for instance, Aaron called his brother my Lord. All right. He called his younger brother Moses my Lord, meaning Adawan or sir or showing respect unto him. This is not the same Lord when you see in all caps. Excuse me. All right. So Lord in all caps, being God's name, is Yahweh in the Hebrew. All right. Yahweh is not Yahuwah. All right. It's not what else some of you fake Israelites be saying. All right. It's not Yahuwah. Uh it's not Yahweh, right? It is pronounced Yahweh in the Hebrew. All right. Yahweh in the Hebrew. Okay. So y'all can see that. All right. Excuse me. It's a lot. Now, when you see uh the oppressor writes the Lord's name YH8 Salakia YHWH, and he pronounces it Yahweh. This is his bastardized rendition of Yahweh written in the ancient Hebrew, right? So now to your far right, you have Yahweh in the Assyrian Hebrew. You have your Yah, Ha, Wah, and Ha characters. There's no U sound in the Hebrew, all right? There's no A sound in the Hebrew, all right? The characters are I, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wah, so forth and so on, right? So the Lord's name is Yahweh, not Yahuwah, or not Yahweh, all right? Yahweh. To the left of the Assyrian Hebrew, right? Once again, the Assyrian Hebrew, you have your Yah, Ha, Wah, and Ha characters. To the left is the ancient Hebrew or the Paleo Hebrew. Yah, Ha, Wah. The Wah and Ha characters connect at the end of this word. Now, if you read in uh, ancient Hebrew written Torah, you won't see these characters up under here, but we do this in the ISUBK for you to understand that the character stands alone. But you will see a connector that connects two characters together to mesh their sounds together. All right. So in ancient Paleo Hebrew book, the Lord's name, Yahweh, would be written like this: Yah, Ha, and then Wah. The Y and Ha characters connect. Okay. Next, we have Christ. All right. Or Yahweh Shah. I'm going to just put Christ. All right. And Christ's name, his Hebrew name, Yahweh Shai, means savior or deliverer. All right. As we know, Christ is coming back with 200 million angels to save the children of Israel from enslavement, poverty, so forth and so on. Now, Christ's name in Hebrew is not Yahuwah, it's not Yehoshua, all right? It is Yahawashai, all right? Yahawashai, all right? Okay? Yahawashai, all right? Excuse me, let me make this a little bit more smaller so I can fit it in there. Yahawashai is Christ's name in the Hebrew, meaning savior or deliverer, all right? All right. Not sure if you can see it, but I have a shirt that says Christ's name in the Hebrew at the bottom of the UPK shield. Says Yahawashai, just how I just wrote it on the board. All right. Christ, Yahawashai. To your far right, the Assyrian Hebrew. Excuse me, I don't know why I keep doing that. The Assyrian Hebrew to the far right. Let me see if y'all can see that. Okay, Most High in Christ. Yahawashai, far right in the Assyrian Hebrew. You have your Yah, Ha, Wa, Sha, and I characters. To the left of that is the ancient Hebrew, or someone like to call the Paleo Hebrew. All right. You have your Yah, Ha, Wa, Shai. The Sha and I characters connect at the end of that word in the Hebrew. All right. Next, we have anointed. All right. The word anointed or Mashayak in the Hebrew. All right. This is what Christ is. Christ is the anointed king of the children of Israel. All right. This is what Christ is referred to. Okay. The anointed or the chosen one. All right. Mashayak in Hebrew. All right. All right. Excuse me, slightly. To your far right is the Assyrian, spelling for anointed or Mashiach in the Hebrew. You have your Ma, Sha, Ya, and Cha characters. To the left of that is the ancient or the Paleo Hebrew for the word Mashayak, which means anointed. Ma, Sha, Yak. You see this character down here at the bottom means these two character sounds mesh together. Just like you would see a ST, you wouldn't say satir, you would say steer. You wouldn't say stop, you would say stop. All right. This character blends these two sounds together to make it yak instead of yaka. Right. So it's ma sha yak. Okay. Quick recap. The Lord's name is Yahweh in the Hebrew. All right. Yahweh in the Hebrew. Excuse me. Far right is your Assyrian spelling for Yahweh. All right. You have your Yah, Ha, Y, and Ha characters. To the left of that, with the connectors at the bottom of the word, is Yahweh in the Hebrew. And the Paleo Hebrew. Yah, Ha, Y. The Y and Ha characters connect. Up under the Lord, we have Christ, all right, which is Yahushua in the Hebrew, which means Savior / deliverer, all right. Far right is the Assyrian Hebrew spelling for Yahushua. You have your Yah, Ha, Wa, Sha, and I characters. To the left of that is your Paleo Hebrew or ancient Hebrew spelling of Yahushua. You have your Yah, Ha, Wa, Sha, and I characters. The Sha and I characters connect at the end. Yah, Ha, Wa, Sha. All right. And then next we have anointed, which is Christ, which is what Christ is referred to as. Excuse me. Yeah, Yahushua, a Mashiach, or Yahushua, the anointed. All right. Mashiach meaning anointed in the Hebrew. To your far right, the Assyrian Hebrew. Ma, Sha, Ya, and Ka characters to make up the word Mashiach. To the left of that is your ancient Hebrew. Ma, Sha, Yak. The Ya and Ka characters connect at the end of that word. All right. And just a quick sidebar. The oppressor that calls himself a Jew, he speaks Hebrew, right? But he doesn't speak it in the same dialect as the original people that spoke Hebrew. When I say original people that spoke Hebrew, talking about Israelites. And he's talking about the original man, none of that weird, fake woke Egyptian doctrine that all of our people are rocked to slumber with. All right. Now, the reason why I'm bringing that up is because a lot of people like to come up against the Isupk and say we don't speak Hebrew correctly. This is the ancient form of the Hebrew. What the so-called Jewish man speaks, he speaks Hebrew, but the dialect of Hebrew that he speaks is Yiddish. All right. And the reason why the dialect of Hebrew that he speaks is Yiddish is because he's not a Jew at all. Yiddish is basically Russian and German mixed with our language to where they don't say what's a word I can use? Mm, they don't call King David Dawada correctly pronounced in the ancient Hebrew. They call him Dawid, all right? Or Dawid, all right? Something like that, something to that extent. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because the dialect that they speak, the accent that they have is that of a German or a Russian person because that's actually where they're from. You know what I'm saying? It's no different than a brother from California uh, pronouncing certain words different than brothers from New Orleans, or a brother from New York pronouncing his words different than a brother from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? It's because of where these heathens actually grew up at and how they learned the language of Hebrew from their foreparents that already have an accent, you know what I'm saying, and speak a different dialect from the countries that they actually come from. All right. Excuse me. So now let's Israel, all right? Israel, the Lord's chosen people. Okay. Get this up here real quick because I want to get into these Gentile nations. You know what I'm saying? Israel, all right? Which means prince of the power, all right? Or God prevails as well, all right? Jacob wrestling with an angel because this life is about warfare and the Lord is a man of war. He don't want no sissies, and none of our forefathers were sissies, the righteous ones. You know what I'm saying? Some brothers was, weak up under these other nations, but that neither here nor there. All right. The Lord changed Jacob's name from supplanter, right? Which that's what Jacob means, to Israel or prince of the power. know what I'm saying? And Israel is not pronounced Yasharal. It's not pronounced Yisrael in the Hebrew. That is not how you pronounce Israel. Israel is pronounced Yashar Allah. All right. Yashar Allah. All right. Meaning prince of the power. Right. Now, write this down for you all. Yashar Allah. Right. I'll write it in the ancient, the Paleo Hebrew at the top. I'm gonna give it to you in the ancient Hebrew. Yeah. Okay. The Syrian Hebrew at the top for Yashar Allah. You have your Ya, Sha, Ra, Ah, and La characters, right? Directly up under that is the ancient Hebrew for Yashar Allah, all right? Now, in the ancient uh, or Paleo Hebrew Torah, this is how you would see the name Israel. It would be only two, it would be only one connector between the Sha and Ra characters, all right? This is where you get the Sha and Ra characters to connect. So it would read this, like this. Ya, Shor, the Sha and Ra characters connect. Allah, all right? So this is how you pronounce, excuse me. This is how you pronounce, excuse me. This is how you pronounce Israel in the ancient Hebrew. Yah, Yashar Allah. All right. Not Yisrael, not Yasharal, and a lot of other weird names that how you pronounce Yashar Allah or Israel in English. A lot of names that you fake Israelites just throw on the children of Israel because you actually Jewish. You follow the Khazarian Empire's take and rendition on our culture. This is why you wear fringes on your t-shirts. All right. Your heads are covered with scarves like you women. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know, you're not in the truth. You know what I'm saying? If it's not up under command of General Yohana, it is not of the Lord. You understand? Shout out to Officer Natazar that broke that down so eloquently for some fake Israelites that tried to question, or matter of fact, they didn't try to question. They tried to come up with trying to put us together with a so-called unity camp, and the brother had to break it down for these misguided brothers that really don't know the truth, that there's only one people that the Lord is going to be with, right? And the Lord chooses one ruler at a time. And that ruler is Commander General Yohana. And the people that he chose to rule over the children of Israel is the Isupk up under Commander General Yohana until Christ comes back. All right. Now, let's get into the Gentiles or the enemies of Israel, right? Gentile, all right, is any nation that is not the Hebrews, all right? Gentile, right? Pronounced in the Hebrew, Goya. Goya. The Yiddish man says Goyim or Goyim or whatever the hell he says. That's not the proper pronunciation for the word Gentile in Hebrew. It is Goya, all right? Once again, when you read a Paleo Hebrew Torah, all right, I'm gonna get to that in a second. Gentile, Goya, all right. The Assyrian Hebrew at the very top on your right hand corner, you have your Ga, Wa, and Ya characters. Up under that is the ancient or the Paleo Hebrew word for Goya, which is a Gentile, which means heathen, or anybody that is not a Israelite. All right. Now, when you read this word in an ancient or Paleo Hebrew Torah, all right, it will be written like this. You have your Ga and Y characters with a connector up under it, and Ya that stands alone. Goya. All right. This is how you pronounce Gentile or heathen in the Hebrew. All right. Now let's get into the enemies of Israel. Right. The blanket enemies of Israel. Right. These are basically the heads of all the nations today. All right. Any nation that is on planet Earth comes out of these nations. You know what I'm saying? Enemy in the Hebrew is Ayab. 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 All right. Enemy. We all know what an enemy is, an adversary. All right. Somebody that is that hates you or wants to make war with you. Right. Top right hand corner, Ayab. You have your Ah, Ya, and Ba characters. This is the Assyrian Hebrew at the top right hand corner. All right. Up under that, Ayab in the Hebrew. All right. Once again, written in the Torah, you would see, oh, excuse me, Salaki, mixing it up. Mixing Assyrian with ancient, moving too fast. Right. In the Torah, right, in the Paleo or ancient Hebrew Torah, you will see Ayab written like this. The I, the Ya, and Ba characters with the character, the Ya and Ba characters with the connector under there to show you that those characters mesh together, right? Ayab. Okay. That is how you pronounce enemy, all right, in the Hebrew. Ayab. We're gonna get into these heathens, that want to oppress you and love to have you up under their foot. That opens up businesses in your communities. We're gonna get to all of them. You know what I'm saying? Try to run it down quick. Excuse me, this is gonna be kind of a quick lesson today. All right. So now, chief enemy of the nation of Israel is a people called Edom or Adawam in the Hebrew. All right. This is a so-called Caucasian man, woman, and child. I don't give a damn if they Greek, German, Spaniard, you know what I'm saying, from Lithuania, a so-called Jewish man, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that's an Italian, right? Any Caucasian person, right? Any red person on planet Earth that originate in Mount Seir, later the Caucasus Mountains, these people that the Lord said dwells in a cleft of a rock that he hates, he despises, these are your Edomites, the so-called white man, woman, and child, all right? Pronounced Adawam in the Hebrew, all right? Edom, Adawam. Excuse me. I'm gonna just go ahead and write these down, and then I'm gonna explain it after I write everything down. But I'm gonna give you who they are today. All right. And Edom can be found in Genesis, the 25th chapter. Next, we have Moab. All right, Moab, pronounced Mawa'aba. Right, the children of Moab today, or your so-called Chinese people, or other excuse me, not or, and the other nations that actually descend from Chinese people. All right, your Cantonese, you know what I'm saying, so forth and so on. All right, this is pronounced Mawa'aba. All right, Moab or Mawa'aba in Hebrew is your Chinese people. Ammon, all right, Ammon, which is Imawan in the Hebrew. All right, these are your so-called Japanese people. All right, so-called Japanese people. All right, also found in Genesis the 19th chapter. All right, next we have Ishmael, that wild man. All right, Ishmael. All right, Abraham's son with the handmaid of Sarah, Hagar, all right, which she was the Egyptian, all right. The forefather of the people that the Lord said his covenant is not with, all right. These are your so-called Arabs today, all right. So-called Arabic people today, you know what I'm saying? And I believe the Midianites ended up marrying unto these people and they became one people. All right. So these are the so-called Arabs today, right? This is the goddamn heathen that owns all the liquor stores in your community and sells you blunts. That calls you cousin because they know you are the children of Israel. All right. This is Israel or Yashamai Allah. All right. My, okay. I'm gonna read these off real quick, you know what I'm saying, so we can get through this. Edom, Idawam, the devil that the Bible speaks of, your oppressor, the so-called Caucasian man, woman, and child, pronounced Idawam. Excuse me. Assyrian Hebrew to your far right, top corner, all right? You have your I, Da, Wa, and Ma characters. To the left of that is the ancient Hebrew, I, Da, Wam. The Wa and Ma characters right here connect together at the end of that word for that filthy, stinking nation, you understand, that's going into chains, as well as the rest of these nations. But these are the chief people that are the enemies of Israel, right? Up under that, Moab or Mawa'aba, all right, which is your so-called Chinese people. They own your laundromats. They selling you four wings and fried rice and dog in your neighborhood. You understand? And they rule over top of you. They own your beauty supplies, all right? And they beat sisters when sisters complain about getting unfair treatment in their establishments when we spend billions of dollars on hair. You understand? Pronounce Mawa Abba in the Hebrew. Ma, Wa, A, and Ba characters. Assyrian to your far right, to the left of that is your ancient. Once again, the Ma, Wa, I, and Ba characters. No connectors there. All of those sounds standalone. Next, we have Ammon, the so-called Japanese, which I'm pretty sure they own a whole lot of businesses, the same as the Chinese people. You understand? In America, any person on planet goddamn Earth, you can't tell a goddamn Japanese person from a Chinese person. I've seen it be said by other Asians. They can't even fucking excuse my French. They can't even tell each other apart sometimes. You understand? Ammon or Imawan in the Hebrew. Syrian spelling is your I, Ma, Wa, and Na characters. To the left of that, the ancient spelling, Ima, Wan, the Y, Na characters connect. Up under that, we have Ishmael, all right? This is your Arab man. Like I said, he owns all the stores in your community, oppressing you with blunts, excessive alcohol. He's selling you sandwiches at a high price, you understand? As well as selling you pork and abominations that he will not eat his own self, all right? Pronounced Yashamayala in the Hebrew. Syrian spelling to your far right, you have your Ya, Sha, Ma, I, and La characters. Ancient spelling to the left of that, Ya, Sha, My, the Ma and I characters connect right there, Allah, right? Uh, Quickly get through these. Okay, next we have Elam, all right, or Ayalam, which is your so-called East Indians. They own all the gas stations in your neighborhood, all right? Uh, they selling you crispy, crunchy fried chicken. I don't know how the hell they got that recipe, in my opinion, if it's fresh. Them heathens make excellent chicken. They most likely stole it from black people. Exactly. How everybody else has done it. Hold on. Uh, yeah. Right. Elam or Elam in the Hebrew, so-called East Indians, right? They had a big hand in the Caribbean slave trade. You understand? This is where our Jamaican brothers and sisters get curry from. That's actually spices native to their land. You understand? As well as marijuana comes from uh, India, right? These are the people that cultivated weed first. This is where you get your dreadlock culture and all of this BS that our people um, indulge in today. Elam, Ayalam, I, Ya, La, and my characters to the far right the Assyrian Hebrew. To the left of that, the Paleo Hebrew. I, Ya, Lam. The La and Ma characters connect at the end of that word. Excuse me, I'm gonna write down these next nations so I can go ahead and run through this. All right. Then I'm explaining it to you after I get finished. I need it down real quick. Okay. I explained Elam or Ilam, which is the East Indians. All right. Next we have Japhet. All right, or Javeth. Some people like to call it. Right. Pronounced Yapath in Hebrew. These are your so-called Polynesians, Aboriginal Australians. You understand? Tongans, Samoans, Hawaiians. Right. That live in your community. You understand? They listen to your music. Most of them are secretly Mormons, which Mormons hate black people. You understand? They're the original inhabitants of Europe before the Edomites went and conquered them and kicked them out on all of those various islands, right? Uh, uh, Very huge people, all right? The men are huge, the women are huge. They customs are men and women wearing dresses, eating astronomical amounts of pork. You understand? And originally they used to wrestle bears, right? In the cold woods and things of that nature in Europe, right? That's their original homeland. Japheth, Yapath, Polynesians, Tongans, Samoans, Hawaiians, so forth and so on. You understand? Uh, they have indulged in being Bloods and Crips. These are going to be the new house niggas when Christ ushers in the Lord's kingdom. All right. Japheth, Yapath, right? Assyrian spelling. You have your Yah, Pa, and Tha characters. All right. Ancient spelling over here. Yah, Pa. The Pa and Tha characters connect right there. All right. Up under that, you have Ham or Ham in the Hebrew. These are your so-called real Africans, not African Americans. We're gonna get into they tribes in a second. But these are the people that assisted your oppressor, the devil, in the transatlantic slave trade. You understand? Not only the transatlantic slave trade, but they had a hand in the sub-Saharan slave trade as well, along with Ishmael or Yashamayala, aka the Arabs, or Habibi that's selling you blunts and cigarettes at an alarming rate and making billions of dollars off you and your community. You understand? Now, Ham in the Hebrew. You have your Cha and Ma characters. This is the ancient Hebrew. Excuse me, Assyrian Hebrew. All right, ancient to the left of that. Ham, the Cha and Ma characters connect at the end of that word. All right. Now let's get into these Hamitic people, these Hamitic tribes. All right. Uh, Mizraim, all right, aka your Egyptians, all right, pronounce Matazarium in the Hebrew, Matazarium in the Hebrew, all right. Matazor, yeah, all right. Excuse me, I'm gonna write these down real quick and then I'm gonna explain them, all right. Uh, uh, Okay. So wrap it up real quick. Mizraim or Matazorium is your so-called Egyptians. Of course, you know America is modeled after Egypt. You understand? Because Egypt is the first place and first people that had the children of Israel in slavery. You understand? Pharaoh, all of that. You understand? Matazorium. Assyrian spelling over here. You have your Ma, Ta, excuse me. You have your Ma, Ta, Ra, Ya, and Ma characters to the left of that. Ma, Tazar, the Tazan and Ra characters connect. Yum, the Ya and Ma characters connect. All right. Next, we have Canaan or Canaan, right? These are your so-called South Africans of today, all right? Goliath was a famous Philistine. You understand? The children of Israel, we went to war with the Philistines for hundreds of years. You understand? And King David was able to conquer this big giant African dude named Goliath, which was a Philistine. You understand? And these are the Africans of South Africa. Another prominent figure of South Africans is Nelson Mandela. He would be a Philistine, right? African Asian looking people down there in South Africa, right? This is pronounced Kanaan, all right? Assyrian spelling over here. You have your Ka, Na, I, and Na characters. These two Na characters look different because this is the Na character at the end of a word as opposed to the Na character anywhere but the end of the word, all right? To the left of that, the ancient Hebrew. Ka, Na, Ain, all right? Or Canaan in the Hebrew. Excuse me, Canaan in the English, Kanaan in the Hebrew. Your so-called South Africans today, all right? Next, we have Cush, all right? Cush, pronounced Kawash in the Hebrew, all right? Famous Cushites, the Queen of Sheba, you understand? Nipsey Hussle is a goddamn Cushite. Tiffany Haddish is a Cushite, all right? That filthy, stinking African that's being accused of doing inappropriate behavior to children. All right. Haile Selassie, another Cushite. These are your so-called Ethiopians, Eritreans, the people of Djibouti, all right, and Somalians. These are your Cushites. You understand? Pronounced Kawash in the Hebrew. Syrian spelling over here to the right. Kawash, the Kawa and Sha characters. Syrian spelling, excuse me. To the ancient, the left of that, Kawash. You have your Ka, Wash. The Y and Sha characters connect at the end of that word. All right. And then we have Put or Pawat. These are the original Africans of Libya. All right. The original Africans of Libya. Not I forget not Saddam Hussein, but I forget his name, but the African president that they killed because he wanted to get the devil out of the land, you understand? Even though his people conquered that goddamn land, which a lot of those are a mixture between the Libyans today are a mixture between white Greeks, Arabic, you understand? And I believe is probably still some of the original Libyans over there. Of course, they in dirt, piss poor poverty, but they not the children of Israel, so I don't give a damn. You understand? Pronounced Pawat, all right? Syrian spelling over here, you have your Pa, Wa, and Ta characters. Ancient spelling over here. Pa, Wat. The Wa and Ta characters connect at the end of that word. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the class. The water for tuning in. Make sure you all like, comment, subscribe. Share this class with your Christian pastor. You understand? Share this class with anybody who actually thinks that they know the Bible, so you can show them the real preaching prophets of the Lord and how we are required to know our native tongue and our language in order for us to get out and actually wake our people up and teach them how they're supposed to live. With that being said, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabarakat to the brothers, Yahweh Shemor Latan by Hashem Yahweh to the sisters. Excuse me. Shalom, Israel.